Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explained, as this is your match preview ahead of the London Derby against West Ham United. We're going to be reunited with Mr. Graham Potter. We gave everything yet again, and this is a game we should definitely win. West Ham does not look great. No, Graham Potter wants to play sort of positional play as well, modern progressive style with emphasis of dominating possession. And I don't really know if West Ham is that team that can do that. I mean, Potter has got one key signing in Hermansen, which is the goalkeeper. There is a ball playing goalkeeper, but they have so many holes in their team. They don't really have a squad built for Potter yet. And you saw how they regressed completely compared to last season in their opening fixture against Sunderland, where they lost 3-0. Looked completely toothless in attack. And if West Ham is not going to support Potter with signings he needs, there is a chance of him losing his job. So West Ham is a side that is not functioning, and we should capitalize on that. And I want Maresca now to please install more risk and confidence in the team. Not that our players doesn't have confidence, but I mean confidence in the aspects of believe in yourself to take more risk. But that also comes down to Maresca, because he's so obsessed with having control of the game, dominating possession, but a lot of opposition teams in Premier League can happily sit back in a low block and shut us out from getting any quality chances and win the game. I mean, if we're gonna catch the top teams in the league, we need to be willing to take more risk and be a bit more flexible. I mean, you can't just only overload the midfield every game. Sometimes you also need to overload the flanks. In the game, if we have the opportunity to overload the right hand side with Reece James, I think we should do that, especially if West Ham is setting up in their sort of 5-3-2 system, because that's gonna mean the flanks are only consisting of a wing back, and that would be a perfect chance to overload either the left or right hand side, probably the right hand side, where we have Reece James that can go forward, and we can utilize more of his qualities to find a fantastic through ball. Maybe he can take a long shot and score a worldie, or deliver a delicious cross into the box. So he's someone I feel we can utilize heavily more on the flanks. That's not to say he's going to run up and down every game, because that's not really what I'm meaning. I'm just meaning when you have a chance to attack your opponent's weaknesses, I think Maresca needs to be willing to see that and do that. Basically, I think we're too static and too slow. We need to move quicker. Maybe it's due to fitness levels. That's why we were pretty slow in the first game. Maybe we're gonna have to give it some games and then we can be more critical. But this is just some notes I took from the last game, and a common theme we have seen last season that hasn't really been fixed. However, we are delighted, of course, to see Tosin back in training, because he was out last game. He had some sort of discomfort, so he's going to be back for action. I think Wesley Fofana is doing some training. Lavia Badiashile is still out. Colwill will of course be out for the rest of the season. So let's get then into my predicted lineup. 2 changes I'm going to make here. We're going to have Sanchez in goal, James, Tosin, Chalobah and Cucurella in the back line. Tosin coming back as the middle centre back that can play those progressive passes that Maresca desperately wants his middle centre back to do. In the pivot, we're going to see Caicedo Enzo, or Caicedo is going to be there with Cucurella, and Enzo going forward, occupying one of the half spaces. Our front four is going to consist of Neto, Palmer, Estevao, and João Pedro. I think we should give Estevao the opportunity, because he looked very comfortable coming off the bench against Crystal Palace, and he, with his technicality, flair, sharp thinking and anticipation, I don't think Estevao will have any problem whatsoever. Like, we're going to get so much use of his flair and technicalities in the final third. I think it's worth giving him a shot to start. Maybe he can fulfill a whole 90 minutes, and then we can maybe bring on Gittens, Tyreek George. Maybe we move João Pedro to the flank and bring the Lap up front. But I think this could be a very interesting lineup. Whether we're going with our normal and standard 3-2-4-1 system, or if we're going with a sort of 3-4-3 diamond midfield, I don't know. It usually depends on how many strikers the opposition have. But it's good we are having a few different lineups depending on the opponents we're facing, so we can adapt and be flexible, because that is the requirement today if you're going to be a top team and a top coach. So let me know then, guys, what you would see for changes in the lineup. The only thing we have to continue to work upon, I'm stressing this enough in previous videos, is it's only the final third, taking more risk and be a bit more adaptable, and also try to exploit the flanks at times. Be a bit more decisive in the final third. That's it. And we're also just a few signings away from completing the squad. We're waiting to sign a Xavi Simons, potentially a new centre back that Maresca is stressing in the press conference. I'm not so keen on Garnacho, I'm going to be honest. I do not want that type of player here. That is unprofessional, arrogant. I rather give Tyreek George opportunity, because he's bleeding blue, giving everything. He's flexible in terms of different position he can occupy, but he's also intelligent tactically wise and knowing where to be in certain situations. So that's just a little side note on the only thing I think we can improve upon, and the signings that I feel is only missing in the current moment. In terms of a score prediction, I think it's going to be a very even game. Graham Potter will be a bit more cautious now. West Ham is at home, but we should have enough quality to get a victory, and my score prediction will be a 2-1 victory, and we're collecting 3 points. We need to go on a little win streak now. We have a perfect opportunity to do that. I think we have West Ham, Fulham, and then Brentford. This should be a 9-pointer, and we should climb up the table early now. We need to have higher standards now. I mean, we are Chelsea. We are so many years into this sort of project now. The pressure needs to be there, and high level of standards.